Good afternoon, folks. 12:10 p.m. Eastern, January 3rd, 2019. We're just going to do a quick review today. I don't think our reviews are going to get too heavy until Monday of next week. So we got 2 more trading days of potential swap here. I'm going to review oil first, and then the remaining time that I have, I'll go through some others. And I'll stop the recorder in between each and restart it. So it'll take a few minutes in between each that I review. And then we'll be out of here before 1 o'clock. I do have workers around the house today, so there will be some banging, but anyway, let's get on with taking a look at crude oil here. So in a nutshell, what's happening is we've got sideways trade since December, I guess it's the 20th, 21st area. It dumped into what we had on another model as a 41 target, and it got really close on FX USOIL WTI. Since then, it's been sideways. This is a trading box. The top of the trading box here is 47.14 area, bottom of the trading box in the neighborhood of 42.18. It's on a 200-minute chart. This is a simplified model for the EPIC model on a wider time frame for sizing in on swings. Now, it has been trading in the upside of the upper half of this trading box, and if you magnify this, see a little more clear what's happening. So it did move the full width and a bit more of the box. And on the MAs, it's been using them as support and resistance. And now we're up into the other side of it, and it concludes in the next 4 hours. So this 4-hour candle concludes here in 47 minutes, and the next 4-hour candle is the conclusion. So there could be fireworks this afternoon or this evening in futures. If it got really bullish, then you're looking for a target of $50. And now that's a 4-hour candle. It starts at 1 o'clock. So that takes you through to 5 o'clock, which actually would kind of put you in futures trade. Not really, but for all intents and purposes. Now, if it gets bearish, and I don't think it will, but it could, then your mid quad is that 44.63 area, and the lower, so your lower trading box support in that 42.20 area, but then the lower quad is in the 39.45 area. So considering API and then EIA tomorrow, we could see some fireworks here, especially after consolidation. Now that is where there is structure. Where there isn't structure is quite simply, we have a protocol on our machine trading program that executes, and I'm just going to find in the Discord room, Jeremy, our machine tech. He put some notes in there for some members. The machine trade needs timing, structure, price on model, and order flow identified from market-leading machine prints and blocks to execute. The latter, so in other words, the large blocks, the machine prints from the market has been missing over the holiday. There is now timing, structure, and price, which is an improvement. So we have seen in this area of trade here, the structure come back, but it's still sloppy. So there are signs that things are improving, but we don't expect that to happen until Monday. Now, a little more specifically what I mean, if you look at the EPIC model, so this is 30-minute candles, right? So a much lower time frame than 240-minute chart where you're seeing this broader structure. You go to the 30-minute, and it's sloppy all over the place. It's flowing through channels, like there's a down channel support here, and it just slices through it, no problem. There's up channel resistance up here, you know, so in the quad walls, everything, nothing's functioning properly, and it hasn't been through the holidays. So that's also confirmed through the machine prints. There's 20 to 30, and it's variable on any given day, of larger entities putting block trades through. And part of Jeremy's work is identifying when they're in play. There's 2 to 300 that we've identified now that can move the needle, but they're not what our software is programmed to. Our software is programmed to 20 to 30. The reason being is that when they're in play, the probabilities are extremely high that we're going to be on the winning side. Those 20 to 30 move in usually within about the first 25 seconds of a move, and the other 2 to 300 can take up to two to 3 minutes. So that's what we're experiencing right now for trade and what's going on. Just give me half a second here. Okay, sorry about that. So the workers here, they've agreed to shut the power tools off for 40 minutes for me, and one of them has decided it doesn't work for him, I guess. So you'll just have to ignore that. So anyway, the bottom line is that timing in the model, the structure of traded within the model, the price in the model, so where price is in the model, and then the order flow for those bigger blocks is how the machine triggers. So that's why our alerts have been slow. Jeremy, based on the new software updates, estimates his alert flow to be 5 to 10 times in January what it has been in December. It's just a matter of getting on the other side of Monday. Okay, so I got that covered off. So specific to the EPIC model, there's nothing to talk about because it's not respecting it because the big players aren't in there. On the 1 minute, there's really not much to talk about. We did get an area of trade that did come under all the MAs, under VWAP, all the indicators flattened out and then picked up. And that would have been a great buy area, but we couldn't do it because the machine trade just didn't activate based on the order flow. Okay, so I have the boss is coming to shut down the workers here for 40 minutes. I apologize, guys. I'm not sure why the communication didn't work with this specific worker that decided to take out the power tools and a jackhammer and a sledgehammer. Okay, so we're good. Okay, back at it. Sorry about that. Okay, so EPIC, we're going to leave that model alone for now until we get on the other side of Monday. Sorry, I was mad messaging everybody there. What the F is going on? 1 minute we're not going to worry about for now. Sorry, I just got to respond. Thank you to everybody here after losing my mind. We know what's going on in the 240 minute. We know what's going on in the model. We're going to go over to, so this is the test chart for sizing also for the machine trades. It's been all over the place too. These yellow lines here have acted as support and resistance all the way through the sell-off oil, and now you can see how sloppy it is. It gets under the yellow line, over the yellow, under the line. You know, could that be consolidation for the turn, for a trend, reversal, for a retrace of resistance? Sure, could be. But until we get to Monday, there again, we don't know either. I have a bias to oil running in the new year into the beginning of May. And if I'm right, EIA and Monday should be the turn. This is a weekly structured trend line chart, and we seen oil hold this structure so far this week, and it looks like it's going to hold it for the week. So this very well could be the turn. Now, if you get a turn, of course, all you do is you take your previous low to your previous high, run your fibs, and watch the retrace and focus on the MAs on the weekly. And anyway, we'll be putting out specials on that if it happens. The daily, so before we got into this region, and for people that don't know, sorry, for people that don't know how our charting works, this is all done in advance. So these structures have been here in advance. So things like this 240-minute chart, the trading box, or on the daily, those structures were there before trade got there. And the reason I'm saying that is that when you get into a structured trade like this on a 240-minute, you got a pretty good idea what's happening from a swing trading perspective. We use the EPIC model for day trading and a little bit for swing trading. But anyway, when you get to that daily chart, before oil had gotten into this area, I had said that we should be watching this trend line here and this 20 MA resistance test. And sure enough, this is its build right now. Now, the last time it did it, it failed. You can see what happened. So we'll be watching this very close to see if we actually get up and over that 20 and start to build structure. If we do, then on the daily, you just simply, you know, here's February 1 of 2019. If you get an upward reversal, then you just simply go to your bottom, mid, and top quads for your targets. So your first target would be 48.75. Your second most bullish target would be 54.23, and so on, all the way up the chart, 59.55. And if you built that out into the first part of May, you would see why I have a target of $83 for the first part of May. Now, if it fails, the downside targets are extreme also. But I think I've got this dialed in. So just to recap really quick, the EPIC model we're not going to deal with until early next week. Jen does have a report coming out with updated charting for those that have been asking. Just give me 2 seconds here. So 46.83 intraday trade. The I just got a note from Jen. She's moving people between rooms, just so you know if you did get moved. But you hear the same broadcast and you see the same charting. It's just that you end up in a different room. So anyway, yeah, that's EPIC. The 1 minute, I'm going to take a quick look for those that are trading right now. So you just got midday consolidation. There's not a lot happening here. So if you are trading this afternoon, I'd be looking at this 240-minute chart and that 1 minute. As soon as this 240 comes up, I'd be watching this really close, because over that trading box, if price holds, you got this 100 MA above, right around 47.80. But if it really got juice, you want to watch that as a resistance, and then your next resistance here is at 48.65, and of course a target the 50 area. We have a coding conference this afternoon that's going to last about 4 hours. So if we're not in session, those are the most important resistance areas you're going to want to watch for. Your support areas, of course, intraday around these fibs, but your big one here is 44.68, and then of course down in the model, you got your other support areas that I'd mentioned. I would strongly be biased for a move at least to that 100 MA this afternoon or this evening, if not all the way up to this target. I think the bulls are setting up for that kind of a move. Now, that may not occur until EIA tomorrow, and the opposite may be true, but my bias is to that target at latest EIA tomorrow. Okay, so I'm going to stop the recorder right now. That's generally what's happening with oil. I'm going to reset some charting, and I'm going to come back with the remaining time that we have and look at a few of these other charts.